Everybody, what is going on? The catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone out there had a great Sunday. Hope you guys are racking up some week 10 fantasy dubs. And of course, tonight we're here to answer any fantasy football questions that you guys have. Start sits for the last game tomorrow night. Broncos, Bills. What players do you potentially have that you need to help take you over the top to get a week 10 victory? Anything that you guys need going into week 11, start sits, trades, waiver wire. It's not a great looking waiver wire going into week 11, but there are players and there might be particular players in your league that are a little bit more intriguing than other leagues. So let me know what's out there and who you guys are looking at. But just going to hop on here and kind of go over what we saw in week 10's action. And we'll talk a little bit of what's left for week 10 and talk a little bit about week 11 fantasy football. So as always, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So week 10, actually a pretty decent day for fantasy overall. I mean, it wasn't awful by any means. We had a couple of disappointing games. We just watched an awful game between the Jets and the Raiders, but we weren't expecting this game to necessarily be an outstanding fantasy game or necessarily a good football game in general. But overall today, I mean, it was not that bad of an NFL slate when it came to fantasy points. I mean, the Jaguars were awful outside of like Christian Kirk. But for the most part, I mean, like Tony Pollard really disappointing against the Giants. Like literally like every Cowboy scored today except Tony Pollard. He just had 55 yards on the ground. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Taysom Hill finally came back to earth. There are players that disappointed today. That, don't get me wrong by any stretch. But overall, like it was a pretty good day for fantasy scoring. So let me know how you guys did. Let me know. Are you guys making that push for the playoffs? Do you feel comfortable? Are you slipping out of the playoffs? Do you have any chance? Are you at the top of the league? Let me know what your guys' records are looking like. And let me know how Sunday went for you guys. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, pretty good day fantasy-wise. Just depends on who you started and who's on your bench and, of course, who was against you. So quickly looking at Week 11's waiver wire pickups. I will do a video for the week, but I talked about Josh Dobbs last week. And encourage you guys, even in single quarterback leagues, to pick up Josh Dobbs before week 10 games started. And man, he looked great today. He needs to be rostered. I mean, he's moved up to like 49% rostered, according to what app you're using. But yeah, Josh Dobbs at this point needs to be rostered. Jordan Love, if you're in a super flex league, can be scooped back up, mainly because he has a pretty favorable matchup for favorable schedule, I should say, for the rest of the season. But Zach Charbonnet is probably rostered, but continued to get some touches. And Kenneth Walker a little dinged up in this game. Keaton Mitchell, no touches in the second half for whatever reason, but looked great when he got the ball in the first half. If he's still floating around, I know some people like he was questionable at points in the week, and then there's a bad matchup against the Browns, so maybe somebody ended up dropping Keaton Mitchell, but yeah, he deserves to be rostered. Antonio Gibson, if he's out there, deserves to be rostered. And Devin Singletary, really interesting play out of Singletary today because, like, I don't know, beforehand with Damian Pierce and the Texans, it was like the offense didn't flow the same. They weren't able to accomplish what they wanted to do when they were rarely giving the ball to Damian Pierce, but with Devin Singletary, like, I mean, it looked like the normal Houston Texans offense that we've been seeing, and he had a monster day. So if he's out there, even if Pierce comes back healthy, I don't know if he's still the RB1 for the Texans. Quinn Johnston scored a touchdown, a 1-yard touchdown, but hey, he might be worth picking up. Josh Palmer on IR. This offense continues this offense continues to get dinged up. Keenan Allen left the game for a little bit today. I don't know. They're going to be confident to start him. I don't know, but he's probably worth picking up. Jaden Reed looks better than Christian Watson. I'll just put it that way. You can probably pick him up. Noah Brown, huge day. Huge day. And I told you guys, I'm not really personally confident in starting Noah Brown. There are a couple of you guys, like specific situations where it's like, yeah, we can throw him out there. But yeah, he looks great. I mean, Nico Collins banged up. Tank Dell at a point in this game got a little dinged up. Tank Dell still played fine. But yeah, I mean, Noah Brown looking like he's going to be a big part of this Texans offense and their passing attack, which is going to be a thing because CJ Stroud is him. So Trey McBride, if he got dropped for some reason, pick him up. Pat Fryermuth should be coming back next week. Pick him up. Why not? Luke Musgrave, probably worth picking up as well. So that's about it. All right, there's your sneak peek at the waiver wire. It's not great. It's not great. Most of those guys I named have already been picked up in your league. So, but it's worth a shot. Okay, let's hop right into it. Let me know what you guys need. Let me know how week 10 went for you guys. Let me know what you need in tomorrow's game to get a victory. I did better last week overall. I mean, I'm in 15 leagues, but I had an okay day in fantasy. Ghost Runner, that game was horrible. It was like every time I looked up, I just could not believe my eyes. I really wanted that game to end. I wasn't able to watch any of the hockey or basketball games. It's not in my area or whatever. And then I guess not part of this. I thought I had like the sport package or whatever, but I guess I don't. Or maybe it's not for the specific games that are on tonight. But literally, like by the beginning of the third quarter, I was like, I just want to watch like basketball or something till this game and watch like keep up with the score of Jets Raiders, but yeah. Mr. Jones, good to see you. What's up? I'm up 42 points. My opponent still has Diggs. I mean, you never know. Look at a player like Keenan Allen today. Like, you never know. But I'd say you're probably okay. Yeah. Jets Raiders, we weren't expected fireworks anyways, right? Happy PPR, I traded Kamara for Bijan. Nice. I actually like that. I like that. And I told you guys all week, don't get smart. Start Bijan. This is going to be a good week for Bijan against the Cardinals. Thank the Lord that Arthur Smith came to his senses and Bijan found the end zone today. And not just the end zone, had a great day. Sitting in first place in home league, started 0-2, now 8-2. Let's go. Love to hear it. Jesse, what's up, man? Started Gibbs and Monty. Love it. What do you think I should do with them going forward? Hold or sell high? Just hold. This Lions unit, they're as good as anyone in the league right now. This offense, they get it done. They find ways to score. I would hold both these guys. And there are a couple of you guys throughout the week who actually had a similar question. And I was just hold them. And if you need to start both of them, start them. So paid off today. I know you erased the big touchdown run by Monty. He didn't really have a great day. Kind of got stuffed at the goal line a couple of times, but doesn't matter. He found a way. He got it done. Amon-Ra got it done. Just about everyone on this offense, except for Sam Laporta, got it done today. Yeah, even at 7-3, I hold both those guys. Yeah, big day for Gibbs. Huge day for CD. Really a huge day for both of them. Yeah, Dak to CD. I mean, don't get me wrong, not the best opponents in the last 2 weeks, but it's been there, Dak, CD, Amon-Ra about to carry the playoffs. Let's go. Let's go. J-Dubs, what a game. Sometimes it's painful to watch a game like what we just saw the Jets and Raiders put on, but you do have to admit that really when it came down to it, it was a good football game. Came down to the last minute. The Jets had a chance. Garrett Wilson had a chance at that ball. But yeah, it just wasn't fun at all in any way to watch. But I mean, defensive battles, while they're not good for fantasy, can still make for a good football game, I guess. But I don't even know if that was a good football game. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching it, but it's kind of like that Super Bowl between the Raiders, between the Patriots and the Rams. It's like the most boring Super Bowl ever, but this is actually like a good close game, right? Good to see you, J-Dubs. Orac, what's up, man? Only down 16 to guy that had Gibbs and Amon-Ra, and I have Sutton Kincaid tomorrow. Yeah, I think you're good there. I think Kincaid's gonna have a big night. Tommy, if you're in here, I hope he doesn't. But Kincaid's gonna have a good night. So far, who's the waiver wire pick up for week 11? Man, I guess Noah Brown. It just depends on what running backs are out there for you, like who's gotten picked up already, who's gotten dropped, or there's some good handcuff situations, so to speak. Josh Dobbs, I guess. But yeah, it's just not. We're at that point in the year where it's just not. The waiver wire is not great. I do think Jaden Reed's worth rostering. I mean, just Christian Watson. I can't think about the Packers wide receivers, but I would say Noah Brown is probably the player I want the most. And we talked about him last week a lot as well. Jada's, what's up? Winston say my victory. Hint Olave got the W. Home league is going to potentially be 7-0 tied for 3rd out of 10. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like my home league is kind of the same way. Like every team is about to be like 4 losses, 5 losses, or might be like one team with 3 losses now. So like it's just like wide open. So yeah, these things happen. I don't know what happened with Taysom Hill today, but not good. Dak Prescott saved me. Hey, there's really not a lot in between. Like when we're talking about fantasy and Dak Prescott, it's either like Dak absolutely killed me today or Dak Prescott saved me. Noah Brown Singletary stocks way up today. Yeah, I mean, I like the Texans' chances to cover the spread in this game, but I really thought this was going to be a Bengals victory today. And I mean, we had the Steelers Packers game, the Texans Bengals game, obviously, and then like the Ravens and Browns game. It was just like back and forth, back and forth. A couple teams let some things slip away there, but Texans offense. I mean, like the way the Jags look today, the way the Texans have looked lately, I don't know, man. The division could be closer. It's always close division. Looking like I might get you, Dynasty John. Need 5 points. I thought you only needed 3 points. I think you're gonna beat me either way. GG in the super flex. I believe you smoked me, Smoky. No pun intended. Thoughts on Aaron Jones and Kanon moving forward? Kanon got saved from the receiving touchdown. Packers are horrid. Yeah, I'm much more. Well, maybe not much more. I mean, I really think Aaron Jones is just a volatile RB2, boomer bust type of player. I thought he would have a better day. The Steelers have struggled against running backs this year. The game script didn't really fit this. And then on the opposite side, Jalen Warren and Najee Harris ran all over the Packers. But I'm fine with Kenneth right now. The bigger concern is the upcoming schedule in comparison to anything else. And I told you guys all week long, like, don't sell Garrett Wilson going into this week. Actually, Garrett Wilson. I don't know where I got Garrett Wilson from. Don't sell Kenneth Walker going into this week. He's going to have a good week against Washington. Okay. I know he's had 2 bad games in a row. And I mean, he still had a decent day on the ground today, 63 yards on the ground, 3.32 yards per carry. Not great. But yeah, I mean, the big touchdown reception obviously saved his fantasy stat line. Now he gets the Rams, Niners, Dallas, Niners, Eagles, Tennessee, Pittsburgh. It's an ugly schedule. Like the best matchups there are Tennessee and Pittsburgh. But even then, like those are still units that have good enough front seven. So it's a brutal schedule, but we're also getting that point in the year. Like these are some really big matchups. You have to expect some of these teams to show up, kind of like like the Lions and the Chargers today. I mean, like or the Browns and Ravens might be a better example of like matchups at certain points. At this point in the season are just going to start to go out the window. Not always, but you're going to have some of these matchups where, the actual like strength of opposing teams goes out the window. I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen for every game for the Seahawks. And I mean, I will admit, I told you guys, if Geno Smith cannot get it done fantasy wise against the Washington Commanders at home, then I'm just done with Geno Smith. And he looked, I mean, I don't want to say awful today. He was fine. He still had 24 fantasy points, but he looked uninspired. I don't know. I expected more. And I mean, like the Kenneth Walker long touchdown was a big part of it. Then the last minute touchdown to Tyler Lockett. I mean, I guess he did fine. I guess Geno passes the test, but I'm still mad at him for some reason. Anyways, I still, for some reason, trust Kenneth Walker more than Aaron Jones right now. I feel like I'm just ranting right now. I feel like I didn't like help you at all, Bryce. So let me know if there's anything else I can break down there. Need Javonte to lose by less than 13 to Gabe Davis, expecting the worst to happen. It could happen, Jackie. You never know. That's the beauty of it. Ain't over till it's over. Is Taysom Hill capped at Winston as quarterback for any reason moving forward? Well, what's probably going to happen is the Saints are on bye week in week 11, and then Carr is probably going to come back. But yeah, I mean, we said it like week after week. You can start Taysom Hill, but always expect disappointment if you do start Taysom Hill. And hit today finally. Let's see. Up by 24, can play either Kincaid or Cook. He has Allen and Bass. Think I will play Kincaid. I would rather play Kincaid. But the Broncos have been really bad against the running back position all year long. It is a little bit of a toss-up here, but Cook's just been so underutilized. I go Kincaid. I mean, the Broncos have also been really bad against the tight end position. So I like Kincaid more, but you never know. Kevin, what it do, baby? What's up? Another most points for week at 175. CD and Amon-Ra killer duo. Love it. Let's go. My projections are 185. His 182. Yeah. Oh, wait. You're up by 24. Oh. Wait, how did I not see the second part of this? Oh, man, that's going to be close. I would go Kincaid because it's more likely that Josh Allen throws touchdown to Kincaid, then that helps negate some of the points. So I will go Kincaid. But that will be close. That'll be fun. But hopefully you win. I think you'll win. Would you trade Jacobs for Bijan? Probably, but I'm a Bijan truther, so I might be too biased on that. Who do you prefer between Nico and Tank? I mean, it's too hard to say. Like, Tank looked great. And we talked about this throughout the week. Like, I was 110% confident in trusting Tank Dell lining up as a wide receiver 1 without Nico Collins on the field. Again, Cincinnati's defense has been decent this year. But Tank Dell showed up for sure. But I do like Tank Dell more when Nico Collins is on the field. There's far less defensive pressure. So, I still view both of these guys the same, even after this performance from Tank Dell, even after last week where they both looked great. I still view both Nico Collins and Tank Dell as like flex boomer bust wide receivers because I don't know, they've had some inconsistency throughout the year, but we know that this Texans passing offense obviously looks great right now. So they're both worth starting on a weekly basis, but I still view them as flex players. We look at this upcoming schedule for the Texans. They have the Cardinals, the Jags, the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans, Cleveland, and then the Titans again. It's a pretty decent schedule. That at least for the next 3 weeks, the Cardinals, Jaguars, Broncos looks pretty solid. They can probably get it done against the Jets, Titans, maybe the Browns. They're at home for that game. And they are at home for the next 3 games, Cardinals, Jags, Broncos. So, I mean, you're probably going to be able to start either of these guys on a week-to-week basis for a couple weeks here. I think Olave stocks are up if Jameis the quarterback. I mean, for sure. It's like the stats for like, if you look at the stats of what Carr and like Olave have done like the last 3 games and like what Carr and Jameis Winston did in like 20 minutes, it was like ridiculous. So, yeah, I would say so. Sold Kenneth for Olave, hoping Winston stays quarterback. We'll see. Cinnabon, what's up, dude? Who can I get for Kenneth? Our league playoff schedules are week 14 through 16, which is Niners, Eagles, Titans. I mean, this is why I told you guys to hold him. Before you're coming off like an 8-point performance and a 2-point performance. Now you're coming off of a 17-point performance. So he's still a top 10 running back on the year. If I'm not mistaken, like top 8, top 9. So you should be able to sell him at a pretty high value. Just hope that your opponent doesn't look at his upcoming schedule. But it just depends if you're going for a running back or wide receiver. But you should be able to get a high caliber player. Don't know what Olave could possibly have done for Card. Absolutely hate him. I mean, I don't know either. Was that Deontay Johnson last game versus Tennessee a fluke? I wouldn't say so. Deontay Johnson very disappointing this week. I liked him a ton coming into the week. Encourage you guys to start him. Bad call. But I mean, it's Jair Alexander didn't play, and it just felt like the targets and receptions should be there. I didn't expect a monster game, but look at the matchup. It wasn't a great matchup, but then Alexander's not playing. I just felt like be a good PPR performance for Deontay, but no, I wouldn't say the game against Tennessee was a fluke. 12 points, 12.9 points in week 7, 16.5 in week 8, then 22 in week 9 against Tennessee. So I wouldn't say so, but it's worth noting he plays Cleveland this week. So not a great matchup. Although Cleveland's defense bent quite a bit today. Would you trade Hollywood, Devont, Dobbs for Debo and Pacheco? Probably not. No. Hollywood's going to be fine. It's going to take a little bit of time to get that chemistry back on the same page with Kyler. He looked okay today for sure. I would not trade Montgomery. I mean, I like Pacheco. Debo's fine, but Dobbs gets those red zone targets. I talked about it all week. If you have Dobbs, you can start him. It's not a high ceiling play, but he's going to get those red zone targets. He scored a touchdown. Didn't do a ton after it, but yeah, Montgomery. Yeah. I want Monty on my team. Then Hollywood's going to be fine. I mean, I guess it's relatively close here, but I wouldn't do it. I mean, Debo had a good day today. I don't think I'd do it, man. Cinnabon, if I mix and switch B-Rob, should I try and package K9 and some other assets for Kelsey instead of trading for JT? That's fine. I mean, it depends on the roster. I mean, I don't mind having mix and switch B-Rob and JT if you're in a double flex league, and even if you're in a single flex, still a very volatile position, a lot of injuries. But in general, yes, I would say so. Chase, what's up, dude? Survived starting Ingram and Taysom Hill, says Tommy. I did not survive starting Dalton Schultz and Taysom Hill. It was close. Nice week for McBride. He had the highest target share on the Cardinals this week by a far. So if you own McBride, you should feel good. Eddie started Noah Brown, paid off. Nice. Should I try to trade Mixon for Swift? Swift schedule looks brutal. So try and trade. Oh, I mean, these guys are both RB2s. It's like you could. I don't know. Mixon has Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Indy, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Kansas City. It's not a great schedule. Swifty, on the other hand, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas, tough. But then in the fantasy playoffs, if you think you're going to get there, Seattle, New York Giants, Arizona, it's fantastic. So, and once again, some of these matchups, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas, tough matchups on paper. But these are going to be games where we see points. I guarantee it for the most part. I would probably hold Swift. I still think Swift has more upside, being more competitive matchup. Well, maybe not more competitive, but those games coming up that are tougher, matchups are going to be good competitive games. Godfather, what's up, man? Good to see you. Oh, settling into the new crib. Nice, man. Hope it's going well. Always good to have you in the chat. Would you trade Tyreek, Waddle, and A-Chain for Keenan, Hollywood, Cook, and Dotson? No. I mean, Keenan's nice, but I'd rather have Tyreek. Hollywood and Dotson, maybe I'd rather have them than Waddle, but Waddle's fine. I'd rather have A-Chain than Cook, so no. Follow-up the question, I have A-Chain, Khalil, and JT. Yeah, I would rather Swift. I don't. I would just rather Swift in general. Bench both Deontay and Pickens for Dell and Olave. Good call. Is DJ Moore a buy? I think Fields coming back soon. If you truly think Fields is going to be back out there, then sure. I still think he's a good buy low. Absolutely. What should I do with Pollard? Probably throw him on your bench. I mean, it was the Giants. It's tough because, like, before this week, I was still telling you guys, like, his season hasn't been awful. Double digits in 4 games, single digits in 4 games, but now he had his worst fantasy performance of the year. He is at Carolina next week. I will say this. I will give Pollard one more chance. He's going up against their worst run defense in the league. Couldn't find a way to get it done on a day where CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jake Ferguson, and Dak Prescott all had a touchdown. But oh well. Give him one more shot against Carolina. This team is, literally just whatever starting running back is facing the Panthers is probably going to score a touchdown. So if he doesn't, then we'll be done, I guess. All right, where are we? Johnny Edwards, what's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Always love having you in the building, my guy. Josiah, what's up? Even though the Ravens defense did well today, would you start them against the Bengals in week 11 or the Lions against the Bears? I would definitely start the Lions. Yeah. Give me the Lions all day long. For sure. Give me whoever's facing the Bears. I think the Ravens are probably going to be like okay. But yeah. I'll take the team playing the Bears. All right, Skyward. Hat PPR 10-man, 1 flex. Hurts, Bijan, Swift, AJ, Puka, Hawk, Moore. Got Kyron and Dell on my bench. You think we can do something with the depth with Kyron and Dell? Maybe move some other starters. Man, who'd you start this week? You like the whole Eagles team. So starting Hurts, Bijan, Swift, AJ. I mean, I would rather start Tank Dell and try to move Puka. I would try to keep Kyron as well. I mean, it really depends on, are those only players on your bench? I don't know. I mean, like, I think that you kind of need those depth pieces. Puka's been a little bit, unreliable, as is DJ Moore lately. So I would rather keep those guys. And Kyron, he's only your RB3. You want an RB3. So I don't think so. But it depends on who else is hanging around. Aaron Reborn, what's up, man? We got a lot of the OG members of the Catch fam in the house tonight. What's up, everybody? Josiah have 4 fantasy teams with winning records. Let's go. Loving me, my Keenan Allen, him and Tyreek on my teams make me happy, I'm sure. Going to try and trade Barkley, Collins, and Dell for Eckler to partner him alongside Mixon and Moore. Go for it. Why not? If you already have Tyreek, you already have Allen, just go build a super team. Why not? Hawkinson really showed up today. Was banged up, got a little dinged up in the game, fought through it, had a ton of targets, completely showed up. Saquon, on the other hand, awful day for Saquon. I should have been more worried about Saquon going into the week as opposed to just being like, yeah, you have to start him, But that's the thing with players of that caliber. You truly do just have to start them, right? But it's like Barkley is in a really, really bad position. Do I hold Noah Brown? I already have Nico. Maybe you can try and sell him high, package him with another player for a trade. But for the most part, you could probably hold on to him. Why not? Expectations for A-Chain's return. You probably won't get. I don't quite know. The way that offense is ran, probably won't be like right away back to what we were seeing him do, but he'll probably be close and he can easily get back there. So Generally, I don't love starting a player their first week back from injury, unless it's like Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? But, um, like James Conner, a good example. I encourage you guys to not start James Conner this week. And I mean, he had a good day on the ground, but didn't find the end zone or have any receptions. So we'll see. It's going to depend on your guys' rosters, but I think A-Chain will be just fine. Chase Brown's in the house. Hello, hello. What's up, bro? Is Mixon a must-start RB2 moving forward? I mean, he's definitely just an RB2 on a week-to-week basis. So we don't have better options, absolutely. I think Keenan and St. Brown deserve the day off. Just crazy performances. I know somebody, either last night or the night before, I think it was Friday night, asked me, should I start Keenan Allen or Amon-Ra St. Brown? And I mean, of course, I was like, you can start either of them. Like, both are going to have good days, but I gave the edge to Amon-Ra. And he had 10 less fantasy points. But I don't really feel too bad about that call. Mechanic, oh, what's up, dude? Hurts, Bijan, Pollard, B-Rob, Kamara, Kyron, JJ, DJ Moore, Puka, Ayuk, Dell, Goddard, 5-5, lost 3 straight. What's next? I mean, you can try and move on from Pollard or Kamara. Those are 2 names I still think. I mean, you're selling one of them low. I think you're still selling Kamara at decent enough value. But that'll give you Bijan, Kyron, B-Rob. Still very good running backs. Keep JJ. And for those of you guys who bought JJ low, quote unquote, or held on to him and refused offers, it's like JJ will be back soon and this offense looks okay. DJ Moore and Puka are guys you can package as well if you need to. But that would leave you starting Ayuk and Dell, which is fine. Then hopefully you have another tight end hanging around because Goddard's banged up and on bye week. So I'm sure you do. But yeah, I mean, you have pretty good running back depth here. So you move on from 1 or 2 of those guys if you really want to upgrade. I tried to upgrade at wide receiver. I mean, like, you have JJ coming back, probably, hopefully, definitely, maybe. But Ayuk and Dell are startable. And some people are trying to buy DJ Moore right now. Puka is just kind of like a little cherry on top. Very inconsistent right now. So, but yeah, maybe try to upgrade it at wide receiver. Keep some of this running back depth, but also use it to your advantage. I mean, you're loaded. And I would imagine, for the most part, you've been probably flexing some running backs, which is okay. Going to be hard because I have 8 chains. So would I play him over Mixon or Barkley? Right now, Barkley. Unless it's a good matchup. I don't know if we're starting Barkley. Are you encouraged by Kyler's solid return? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I still encourage you guys not to start him this week, and I still stand by that. But, I had 18 fantasy points, 249 passing yards and passing touchdown. That's good. But the encouraging thing, 6 carries, 33 yards on the ground, 5.5 yards per carry, and a rushing touchdown. Like, if we saw him, like, maybe afraid to run, a little bit stiff, not really being able to extend plays or make plays with his feet, then maybe I'd be a little bit less encouraged. It's Houston next week. That should be an interesting game. But yeah, overall, definitely encouraged. For sure. Have Warren just chill on my bench every week behind Hall and Mixon. Warren just keeps performing. Yeah. We'll see moving forward, but you can start him. He gets Cleveland next week is my big concern. Cleveland didn't look great today. But yeah, I encourage you guys. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren are both startable. We're going into this past week, week 10. But Cleveland, Cincinnati, we'll see what they can do against those squads. But then they get Arizona. Then they get New England. We can, I guess, start anyone against New England at this point. Indy, Cincy, Seattle. It's a pretty decent schedule for the rest of the year. So if you want to start the Throwing him out there. I don't blame you. But Hall and Mixon are tough to bench. I'm trying to hold that yawn in. Let my Kyler McBride stack this week. Yeah. I would be really happy and encouraged if you own Trey McBride right now. Ready to start the LSU stack next week? I hope you can, bro. Christian Kirk, wide receiver 1. People laughed at me. Hey, you're not the only one, okay? I don't know if anyone advocated more for Christian Kirk as a wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars this year than myself. Christian Kirk and DeAndre Swift, Rashad White. Like, I feel like I'm missing one player. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. I feel like there's one other player that I was like all over this offseason. But I know for sure. I mean, I was really high on Amon-Ra. I told you guys you could take Amon-Ra like 1.7 if you wanted to. But I still feel like there's one other player that I was super high on that maybe didn't work out as great. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. Kirk was always going to be the guy. We knew it. Kylie would have had a better day if they didn't take that touchdown away from Michael Wilson for sure. For sure. Forgot to ask, what do you think about me and Taylor's Gang's dynasty trade where I got Hal and sent Seawad? I think it was a good trade for you, for sure. Definitely a good trade for you. People laughed at me saying that it would be Sutton better than Judy. Hey, I said that too in the offseason. I got a couple things right this offseason. John loves Rashad White. I do. He's the best running back ever. He did score today. He's been good lately. So, Isaiah Pacheco. That's the other name I was thinking of. Yeah, Rashad White, 15 or more fantasy points every game since week 7. But yeah, Pacheco was my other guy who's kind of come back to earth in his last 2 performances. But DJ Moore. I see DJ Moore at the bottom of which DJ Moore was on fire before Fields got hurt. But that's who I was thinking of for sure, was DJ Moore. For sure. I own DJ Moore in so many leagues, I just start him every week. Trade Pierce and Ridley for Pacheco. I would do that trade if you need the running back help, for sure. Pierce pretty much invaluable to me, so you're really trading Ridley for Pacheco. People kept telling me Judy would be better, Godwin would be better, and Ridley would be better. All completely wrong. I'm feeling great about that. Yeah, Godwin was starting to look okay, but Mike Evans. Next year, no joke. I'm taking a tight end if it isn't one of the top 3. If not, I'll wait till the end. I feel like you said that going into this past season, Smokey. I swear you said that, but I might be wrong. Cameron, I need Javonte to produce 15.1. Going to be a tough win this week and a long Monday. I mean, he has a chance. The Bills have been really soft against running backs. Javonte's looked pretty good lately, so there's a chance here. I mean, Javonte had a touchdown last week, 18.8 fantasy points. The week before that, 12.6 fantasy points. So the last 2 weeks have been good. We'll cross our fingers for you, my guy. Starter scored 115. My bench scored 119. Holy crap. Holy crap. Who's on your bench? James, what's going on, man? Love the content. Thank you, James. Super flex, double flex, 8-man league. Ooh. It was Burrow, Eckler, JT, Amon-Ra, Chase, Kincaid, Smith, Cooper, Levis, Watson, Garrett Wilson, Kincaid, Ingram. Have someone offer me Fields for either Devonta or Cooper. He'd be willing to give Fields for Wilson as well, but I'm a Jets fan, so I'm not doing that. Yeah, I still would keep Wilson too. If I really have to choose, which like I don't really want to. If I really have to choose, I guess it's Cooper. I don't know. I'm a Devonta Smith stan, so I hold on to Devonta Smith. A lot of big games coming up for the Eagles. Coop's been great though. Like, can't really. I mean, very similar tiers for both these wide receivers. I lean Devonta Smith because I love Devonta Smith. Like, I think I'm just biased here. And I was a fan of Cooper going into the year, but Cooper's the wide receiver 22. Devonta's the wide receiver 16. But Devonta's a little bit more boomer bust, so to speak. It's close. I would rather own Devonta Smith. But for what it's worth, I do think the trade is fair either way. And, Devonta Smith having the bye week and Cooper performing well today, like, Cooper will probably move up in him in rankings going into next week. But, I mean, that sucks. Probably just going to have to drop Will Levis. Close, man. I mean, I think either way, the trade's fine for you. You have a very good squad. Do you have a winning record? Your team looks good. I guess Superflex is the only spot you're kind of hurting at, but you even have some players, skill position guys you can throw into the Superflex, I guess. Smokey's for real. Now it's for real. Okay. I believe you. So a good year, actually, to go tight end late. Had B-Rob on the bench for 5 minutes, becomes wide receiver 1. Yeah, he literally, B-Rob led Washington receiving yards today. Crazy. What about Dobbs moving forward? I mean, I talked about Dobbs before this week even started, and I'm a big fan, and I'm still a big fan. So, yeah, I mean, Dobbs in single quarterback leagues, we can start him. There's enough weapons on this Vikings offense. Kevin O'Connell, great play caller. Not really in the second half today, but overall, a great play caller. Dobbs is a fine start. My 10-team field has been on the waivers. Wow. That's crazy. He's had such a... I mean, the reason why Fields would hit waivers because he hasn't been like put on IR or anything. So like people in some leagues you could put him on IR, some leagues you can, and the designation's been hurting people, especially with how many injuries there already are. If you had 2 Stroud and 1 quarterback redraft league, would you keep both? It's 10-team. My team is stacked. Yeah, just keep them. It's just hard to get really adequate trade value for a quarterback. I would keep him. I keep him. Just need a quarterback. Don't trust Levis. It's tough. May take the risk and trade for Fields. I think you can. And I wasn't sure if it was Deshaun Watson. That's who I was thinking. But if it's Christian Watson, then I would definitely do that trade and try and get you a QB2. For sure. 3-6. Jason Burrow stole me beginning of the season. Yeah, it's so tough with 8-man leagues. Like, look at that team and be like, you're probably doing pretty well. But 8-man teams, unless you make the exact correct starts every single week, get behind quickly. But even with 6 losses, still make the playoffs. I think in an 8-man, maybe it's closer, but don't give up. Would you trade JT for Dak and Connor? Half PPR, 4-point pass touchdown. My other QBs are Hal and Fields. RBs are Kamara, ET, and Kyron. I'd probably keep JT. I don't know, unless you think you can turn around and sell like Fields or Hal. I guess it's fine. You have good enough running backs that you can consider it. I just think JT is going to stay on a really good pace. But Dak is probably worth it, I guess. How do you feel about it? James, tough. I think I'll do it since I'm deep at wide receiver. You're deep enough that I think you can do the trade. Appreciate you, James. We'll look forward to having you as part of the community. Let me know if you need anything else, man. Tough decisions there. Santos, thanks for advice winning all 3 leagues today. Let's go. First time 5 weeks. Nice. Just started Dobbs, but that would have been over Deontay. Now to figure out what to do with Noah Brown. We're still going to hold Noah Brown. That's for sure. This offense just going to throw the football a lot, man. But then the problem is, like, Nico was out. Tank Dell got dinged up in this game for a little bit. He came back. Bobby Trees is really inconsistent in terms of his health, although he played this past week. I'll say this much. If you want to sell them high, I guess you can. If you get the right type of offer. And on top of that, it is a good matchup this coming week. It's the Cardinals. So if we have injury to any of the wide receivers, like you can play them again. But that's about all we got there, I guess. Cardinals bad. You can start him this week if you need him. So maybe look a week to week 11, like do you have players on bye or not? So Cinnabon, do you own a Redskins / football team / Commanders jersey? No. I used to have a ton. I mean, I used to have a ton of jerseys in general, and for whatever reason, like I think when I was in high school, like I sold them all. But I used to have a ton of Washington jerseys because it used to be like, I grew up in the area, so like be out at shopping and just pick up a Washington jersey if I saw one. But no, at the moment I don't. I do somewhere have a hat that is signed by a ton of Washington players, including Sean Taylor and Joe Gibbs. So that's pretty cool. But I don't know where that hat is. It's somewhere around here. Bobby Trees will always be, or Robert Woods will always be called Bobby Trees by me. Yeah, I don't know. I've never called him Robert Woods, but I don't even know when people started calling him Bobby Trees. I love this. I have worn this Underdog hat every stream. Well, sometimes I wear my other hat that's up here. If for whatever, like if I try not to ever bring this hat downstairs, but I've essentially worn this Underdog hat every stream since they sent it to me. And I asked him for a new hat. I didn't directly ask him for a new hat. Like I just asked him for like going in this year, like new Underdog gear, and I got like 2 shirts and stickers and tennis balls. Thanks, Underdog. I mean, the tennis balls are actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, but I really like wanted a new hat because this hat doesn't look too bad on camera, but this hat is like super grody. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like getting worn out, but I do love this hat. Trade Fields, Connor, Evans for Allen and Swift. I'd probably do that trade. If you're good at wide receiver, you don't need Mike Evans, I'd probably do that trade. How do you feel about it, Chandler? I mean, you're gonna get Josh Allen. He's the QB1, so yeah, I'd do it. Should have bought a football team jersey for the memes. I was thinking about it like more than once, and I just haven't. Because like I was like, oh, maybe I'll get like a Chase Young jersey. Like, I should probably get like a Terry McLaurin jersey because he's actually signed to a contract. And I was like, maybe I'll get a Sam Howell jersey. That's the thing. Like Washington players just don't last long. I do feel like if I were to get a jersey, it'd be a Terry McLaurin jersey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to the bottom of the chat. So if you guys need anything, make sure to get it in over the next couple minutes, and then we'll start signing off, wrapping up here, because I still need to record tomorrow's waiver wire video, and I need to sleep at some point. So if you guys need anything, make sure to throw it in the chat, and start wrapping up here at some point. Zach, what's up, dude? I am the fantasy football chupapi. Let's go. Might be crazy, but Burrow versus Ravens or Kyler versus Houston. Burrow for the floor, Kyler for upside. However you want to look at it. Have a Mooney jersey and be pissed if he isn't signed. I don't think he's going to be, unfortunately. I'm also a fantasy football player of all time. Johnny, have a good night, bro. Love seeing you, man. Flex Lord Chino, my team barely dropped 70 points PPR. I need help badly. Wide receivers are Puka, Cup, Hollywood, Thielen. Running backs are Pacheco, Ford, Brees, Connor. Where can I improve this team? I mean, wide receivers is the first thing that comes to mind if it is full PPR. I think Hollywood will improve. I think Thielen is still a safe floor, but like maybe try and package Puka and Cup so you get like a player that's not really helping you in Puka, and then the name value of Cup. Ford looked good today. Kind of got lost in the sauce, but he looked good. Connor is going to improve as well. My belief. Brees and Pacheco are probably fine right now. Also have Dak, Fields, and Kyler's 10 team. Try shipping some of the quarterbacks. Pick one. Dak. Who do you trust the best? Probably Dak. Use Fields and Kyler to your advantage in trades, and just try and upgrade. I would say start at wide receiver, try and keep Pacheco and Brees, and try and upgrade at wide receiver. Probably hold on to Hollywood and Thielen. If not, try to hold on to Cup at least. But Puka, Cup can be moved. If you really have to move one of the other wide receivers, so be it. I would keep Pacheco and Brees. If you're going to move anyone, it's Ford and Connor, but those guys are fine too. But yeah, try and use those quarterbacks to your advantage if they sweeten the deal as well. You don't need all three of them. Chiefs D was dropped. Should I stash some? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. They've been good all year long, even against good offenses. Have a good night, Cinnabon. Good to see you. Yeah, and even they played well against Miami defensively, for example, last week. So I definitely go out and get them. How do you pronounce it? Fantasy football chupapi. Is chupapi like a term? Is that what it means, big dog? Hunter, shot in the dark. Who do you think I could get for Osborne and possibly Shakir? Not much. Maybe in like a 14, 16 team league and a 12 team. Maybe something. But I mean, Osborne didn't play this past week, and Shakir is still like a low ceiling guy, so not much. Who do you want to get? Probably like maybe a wide receiver 3. I don't think you're gonna get much though. I think you know that. Matt, helpful, of course. Definitely try to package one of those quarterbacks with one of those wide receivers. Yeah, start there. And it's tough, man. Tough. Tua's been my starter, but Goff fell to me in waivers this week. My backup has been Fields. Purdy available to 2. Should I drop Goff, Fields, or pick up Purdy as backup and just run 2 out there? Yeah, I see, like it can just get like we're just going back and forth between quarterbacks, looking at matchups. Can get frustrating. End up with 3 or 4 guys on your roster. I'd probably from this point forward just start Tua because he still provides the most upside. I mean, I know the past 3 weeks have been a little bit inconsistent, but he gets Vegas, the Jets, Washington, Tennessee, the Jets, Dallas, Baltimore. Maybe you hold on to one other quarterback for the fantasy playoffs. Jets, Dallas, Baltimore. Not great. I mean, this offense against any defense can show up, though. Goff has Denver, Minnesota, Dallas. Pretty decent outside of Dallas. Fields, Cleveland, Arizona, Atlanta. Might be worth keeping for those last 2 matchups. And Purdy, I mean, you guys know Purdy's my guy. But his overall upside is still limited at times. So he'll have Arizona, Baltimore, Washington. Pretty good playoff schedule. I mean, I would definitely keep Tua, then maybe just whoever you like best out of the bunch. Goff is kind of a floor play. Fields kind of upside play. Purdy, Goff, both kind of floor guys. But I will say at least the Niners tend to throw the football a bit more. How much free agent bidding would you use on Chiefs defense? I had 26 out of 100. I mean, on a defense, I'm not going to use a ton. I would use like 6 and then try and save 20 for the rest of the year. How surprised you've been both by Najee and Warren's recent resurgences? I always thought Najee was going to be just fine this year. I mean, really, when you break down last year, he was fine all year long. He just had no ceiling. Like he still hit double digits like almost every single game last year. So with Jalen Warren, I think I'm a little bit more surprised about. But yeah, Najee hit double digits every game last year except for 3. Just had like no ceiling whatsoever. But I always thought if Jalen Warren was really doing his thing, Najee would be like hurt or something. But they've been able to coexist quite nicely lately. And I mean, that's always good, especially for a lot of you guys who went out and took a shot on Jalen Warren. A lot of you guys wanted to draft Warren over Najee. And I wasn't like, I don't know if I have Najee in a single league, like where he was falling in drafts. I wasn't really a fan, but you know, Warren, I guess I'm more surprised about. Jalen Warren officially on breakout alert. He's looked good. Najee not a resurgence, touchdown dependent. Yeah, I guess they both are to a degree. I guess everyone's touchdown dependent at the end of the day, right? But Najee doesn't, I guess, have that same amount of upside. I guess when he gets the ball in his hand as opposed to Warren is fair. Would you rather have rest of the season Bijan or Pollard? Bijan, but I'm a Bijan truther. Always have been, at least since he got drafted. So I might be biased, but I'd rather have Bijan. Keaton Mitchell or Warren? This is very close. Mitchell didn't get any touches in the second half. It's very close, man. But I might go Warren for now. I feel like Warren still has more upside, and Mitchell's still competing with both Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, where Warren's only competing with Najee. So it's close, though. Close. If I'm going to start one, it's probably Jalen Warren. All right, guys, we made it to the bottom of the chat. We're about to hit an hour, so we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. If you guys are new to the stream, hope you guys enjoyed the content tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys come back for more. Make sure you guys subscribe on the way out, or I don't know. Hope you guys considered subscribing, I should say. Hit the like, do all the YouTube stuff, and our Discord link is down below. Completely free to join. You guys can post your rosters on there, post your fantasy questions, get community feedback, tag me on there, give you my own feedback, whatever you guys want to do. Best place for me to reach you guys and to give you guys fantasy announcements, announcements for the channel, and whatever. Just go join the Discord. It's late for me. I'm sorry. And Instagram links down below as well. I don't know what's going on with Pollard, man. I'm very mad at him, but he plays the Panthers this week. Rico Dodao. That's what I only call him. It's the most Dallas Cowboy name possible. I guess so. That's actually a pretty good point. You think Mitchell will get more work? Not really. Maybe at some point, but not really. Chew Poppy. Jason, I have 20 more questions. Oh, no. Throw them on Discord. If not, I'll be back around tomorrow night. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for the fantasy questions. Really do appreciate it. Hope you guys all got a dub, at least one dub here in week 10. And we'll do whatever we can to get you guys ready for week 11 as well. I felt bad, Jason. Sometimes people do that. Like they're like, wait, don't get off. I have 10 questions. I'm like, okay. Okay. All right, man. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Everyone be safe. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great Monday. And with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, Odd here on the Catch. And peace.